You are welcome to Health Talk with Nurse Nancy. Today we'll be exploring an important topic. Please stay tuned and listen.
Do you know that ulcers affect hundreds of millions of people worldwide? And one of the cruelest things about them,
A lot of the foods we love, foods that bring us comfort, foods that remind us of home, foods that
are literally social events. Those are sometimes the exact things making it worse. Today, we are going to have an honest, real conversation about the foods you should avoid if you have a peptic ulcer.
Whether it's a gastric ulcer in your stomach or a duodenal ulcer in your small intestine. We're going to talk about why these foods cause damage, not just what they are, because you deserve to understand your own body. And listen, I'm not here to take away all your joy. I'm here to help you feel better, because you deserve to eat a meal.
Without dreading the next 3 hours, let's get into it.
A quick word on how ulcers work. You can watch my previous video on how to heal ulcer because how ulcer develop was explained in detail there. So when we talk about foods to avoid, what we're really asking is which foods make more acid, which foods weaken that protective lining further, and which foods just irritate that already raw wound. That's the lens we're using today. All right, let's get into the list. Number 1, spicy foods.
Okay, I know. For some of you, this is going to feel like a personal attack, especially if you grew up in a household where pepper was a love language, where a meal without heat wasn't really a meal at all. I feel that. I genuinely do. But here's the truth about spicy food and ulcers. Capsaicin, the compound that makes chili peppers hot, can irritate the mucosal lining of your stomach. If your lining is already compromised, already raw, capsaicin is basically salt on an open wound.
And it's not just the heat. Highly spiced dishes often come with other ulcer triggers.
Acidic tomato sauces, garlic, onions, fried oils, all in one pot. Now, here's something interesting. Some research actually suggests that in healthy stomachs, small amounts of capsaicin might stimulate mucus production. But if you already have an ulcer, your stomach is not a healthy stomach right now, and you need to treat it like the wounded, healing thing it is. So for now, dial back the pepper. It doesn't have to be forever. Just give your
Stomach a chance to heal. Number 2, alcohol. Let's talk about alcohol. And I'm going to be honest with you here, not lectury, because I think you deserve honesty more than a sermon.
Alcohol is one of the most damaging things you can put into an ulcerated stomach. Here's why. Alcohol directly erodes the mucosal lining of the stomach. It stimulates the production of stomach acid, and it slows down the healing process. So if you're trying to get better, alcohol is working against you on 3 different fronts simultaneously. And I know for some people, a glass of wine at dinner is routine. For some, a cold beer on a Friday is the waiting for all week. I'm not here to shame that. But if you are in active pain, if you're waking up at night, if eating feels like a gamble, alcohol needs to come off the table for now. Your body is trying to heal. Give it the quiet it needs to do that. Number 3, coffee and caffeine.
Okay, deep breath. Coffee!
I know half of you just tensed up, and I understand, I really do. Coffee is not just a drink for a lot of people. It's a ritual. It's
The first good thing that happens in the morning. It's the smell that says today is going to be okay. Here's what coffee does in the stomach. It stimulates the production of gastric acid. Even decaf coffee does.
This, by the way, it's not just the caffeine, it's compounds in the coffee itself. And when you have an ulcer, more acid
Means more pain, more damage, more of that burning feeling that made you search for this video in the first place.
Caffeine also relaxes the lower esophageal sphincter, the little valve between your stomach and esophagus.
which can cause acid to creep upward, making things even worse. I know this one is hard. I'm not telling you
You need to quit forever. But consider switching to a low-acid coffee or cutting down your intake significantly while you heal.
your mornings might feel a little different for a while, but your afternoons won't be spent in pain. That's worth something.
4, acidic foods, citrus and tomatoes. Next up, acidic foods. And the 2 big
Culprits here are citrus fruits and tomatoes. Now, oranges, lemons, grapefruits, limes, these are healthy foods, full of
Vitamin C, antioxidants, all the good stuff. And tomatoes, nutritional powerhouses. But when you have an ulcer,
their high acid content can directly irritate the ulcer site. It's like pouring lemon juice on a cut. Technically, it's natural.
doesn't mean it feels good.
Tomato-based products, pasta sauces, ketchup, salsa, pizza sauce are especially tricky because they're everywhere. They're in so many comfort foods, foods that feel safe and familiar.
Pay attention to how you respond to these. Some people with ulcers can tolerate a small amount of cooked tomato. Others feel it instantly. Your body will tell you, you just have to listen. For now, if you're in the middle of a flare-up, give acidic foods a rest. Your stomach will thank you. Number 5, fried and fatty food. Fried food. The thing that smells like happiness and tastes like a hug.
Here's the problem. High-fat foods, especially fried ones, slow down gastric emptying, which means food sits in your
Stomach longer than it should. And the longer food sits, the more acid your stomach has to keep producing to deal with it.
That's more acid, more time, more exposure for that ulcer. Fatty foods also relax the lower
esophageal sphincter. We talked about that with coffee, which increases acid reflux risk on top of everything else. And the frying process itself? Heavily fried foods can be hard for an already struggling digestive system to process.
I know Friday night fries feel like self-care, but right now, real self-care looks like giving your body easier foods to work with.
Baked, steamed, grilled, things your stomach can move through without working overtime.
Number 6, milk, the myth we need to bust. This one surprises people. Okay, I have to stop and address
Because I still see this advice everywhere, and it needs to stop. Milk does not heal ulcers.
I know. So many people grew up being told, drink some milk, it'll coat your stomach. Even doctors used to recommend it. It feels soothing. It is soothing in the moment. But here's what actually happens. Yes,
Milk temporarily neutralizes stomach acid, so there's a few minutes of relief. But then, milk stimulates more acid production because of the fat and protein it contains. So you end up with more acid than you started with.
it's like borrowing money to pay a debt. Short-term relief, long-term worse. Full-fat dairy, whole milk, cream, rich
Cheeses is particularly problematic. Some people with ulcers do okay with small amounts of low-fat dairy, but whole
milk and cream, worth avoiding. This one surprises people. But your body doesn't lie, and neither does the research.
Number 7, carbonated drinks, sodas, fizzy drinks, sparkling water. The bubbles feel fun, right? But those bubbles are carbon dioxide, and when they hit your stomach, they expand. That
Expansion increases pressure inside your stomach, which can push acid upward and aggravate your ulcer.
And most sodas come with a double problem. They're often acidic on their own. Coca-Cola has a pH close to vinegar.
And they contain caffeine. So you're getting the acid, the bubbles, and the gastric acid stimulation all at once. Simply,
Water is your best friend right now. Plain, calm, gentle water. It doesn't sound exciting, but it's exactly what a healing
stomach needs.
If you need flavor, try herbal teas like chamomile or licorice root tea. Chamomile especially has anti-inflammatory properties that may actually help soothe your stomach lining. Number 8, processed and salty foods. This one often flies under the radar, but
Research is increasingly connecting high-salt diets with worsened H. pylori activity. H. pylori, that stomach bacteria we talked about in my previous video, actually thrives in high-salt environments. Some studies suggest that excessive salt intake may increase its virulence, making the infection harder to clear.
think about the processed foods that dominate modern diets: packaged snacks, instant noodles.
Cured meats, fast food, these are all extremely high in sodium. Beyond H. pylori, processed foods often
Contain preservatives and additives that can further irritate an already sensitive stomach lining. I know convenience food is real. Life is busy, and not everyone has the energy to cook from scratch, especially when you're in pain. But even small swaps, choosing lower sodium options, cooking
simple meals in batches can make a real difference. Number 9, NSAIDs, yes, your painkillers.
Now, this is technically not a food, but I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't mention it. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, ibuprofen, aspirin, naproxen, are one of the leading causes of ulcers. And if you already have an ulcer and you're taking these for other pain, you could be making your ulcer
Significantly worse every single time. These medications inhibit the production of prostaglandins,
chemicals your body uses to maintain that protective mucus lining. Without that protection, acid eats through. Please, if you're in pain and reaching for ibuprofen out of habit, talk to your doctor
about alternatives. Acetaminophen, paracetamol is generally safer for the stomach, but always check with your
healthcare provider. You're not being dramatic. Your pain is real, and you deserve the right kind of help for it. What you can do. Okay, that was a lot. And I want to acknowledge
some of those things on that list. They might be your favorites. They might be part of your culture, your routine, your comfort. Losing access to them, even temporarily, is genuinely hard. And I don't want to minimize that.
But here's what I want you to hold on to. Ulcers can heal. With the right treatment and yes, the right diet, your stomach lining can repair itself. The mucus layer can rebuild. The pain can go away. This isn't your forever. This is your right now. And right now, the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to
treat your body like it's healing. because it is. Some foods that tend to be gentler on ulcers: plain oatmeal, bananas, steamed vegetables, lean proteins like chicken or fish. Feed your body the way you'd feed someone you love who's recovering from surgery. With gentleness, with patience. And please, if you haven't already, see a doctor. There is actual medical help available. If this video helped you, even just a little, please give it a like, leave a comment below, and tell me what you're struggling with most. I genuinely read them. And your story might help someone else feel less alone.